Star Wars is the best movie series ever. Changed my mind. It's amazing how one property can go on for so long, failure after failure, success after success, and stand strong as one of the largest franchises out there today. So I'm going to go over every theatrically released Star Wars movie ever in 2 videos. Let's get started. A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie. Empire Strikes Back is objectively better, yes, but I prefer A New Hope. It's amazing what Lucas was able to do on a budget of $6 million with only practical effects, and that's why it holds up so well today. Every single effect is practical, like the ships are real things, so it has a very natural feel, and every event is convincing, from Alderaan blowing up, to a door opening, to a stormtrooper hitting his head. Wait, what? I never noticed that. Huh. But yeah, it's well made. Harrison Ford is great. James Earl Jones is great. Mark Hamill is great. Everyone is great. My favorite thing about it is how dark it is, though. People never really give credit to this movie for its violence because The Empire Strikes Back is much, much more violent. But yeah, it's really dark. People get blown up, sliced, shot. An entire planet, presumably with millions of men, women, and children, are murdered. Someone gets their arm cut off with a lot of blood. It's horrible, actually. It wasn't made for kids as the main demographic, unlike other Star Wars movies I'm thinking of. The score is beautiful. It's one of the best scores ever made. The ships all look great. The Death Star is convincing. The fighting is impressive. It's just a great movie. This is not only considered the best Star Wars movie, but one of the best movies ever made. And yeah, that's about right. I don't really have anything to say because I can't really say anything negative about it at all. This is probably the best example of a sequel better than the first one I can think of. It's exciting, quick-paced, the Imperial March is phenomenal, the acting and effects are great, it's never boring, Yoda is fun, it's just an amazing movie. Return of the Jedi is not as good as the first two. It's still a great, entertaining movie, but it's not as magical, really. The first act, where they go to rescue Han Solo from Jabba, is fantastic, though. The Sarlacc scene is one of the top 5 scenes in Star Wars. Everything except for the special edition footage looks excellent, and it's very fun. But it starts dragging when Luke visits Yoda, and the Ender stuff is just kind of boring. The Ewoks are just stupid. The ending fight scene, at least the part on Endor, just isn't that great. But the Vader and Emperor scenes are amazing. The fight between Luke and Vader is great, and the space battle is really fun. Lando is a great character, and it's nice to see him actually doing something, unlike in other movies I know. Ian McDiarmid does a good job. The best part of the movie, however, is the scene where Vader takes his helmet off and talks to Luke. That is the best scene in all of Star Wars, in my opinion. So yeah, this is a good movie with some incredible scenes dotted in. The best parts of each of the new movies came from the directors, and not Lucas, though. So for some reason, Lucas decided, "Lol, I'm not letting other people direct my movies," and did it himself. I can't do a George Lucas impression, it's really hard. Please watch this movie if you somehow haven't. It is one of the best movie experiences you will ever have. You will be laughing so hard at how unbelievably bad this is that you won't be able to get mad at it. The cast is made up of very talented people, but Lucas has no idea how to direct actors. Like, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford ad-libbed absolutely everything that they said. So they all act as if they were told to be robots.
The Queen is worried. Her people are suffering, dying.
Priorities, Obi-Wan. Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs.
She must convince the Senate to intervene. I'm not sure what'll happen.
A big doo-doo this time.
Funny enough, Jake Lloyd, the only kid actor in the movie, gives the best performance. This movie has aged horrendously over 20 years. You know how Lucas wanted the original trilogy to seem timeless? Well, he completely abandoned that idea to make a movie that makes the first Toy Story look like Inside Out. The only character I liked was Yoda, who was okay in this movie. I like that they used a puppet in the original version, and he's the only thing in the movie that hasn't aged. But of course, in the special edition, they just turned him into an awful CGI thing. The worst thing about this movie is how it tries to be political, though. It's called Star Wars, George Lucas. Note wars in the title. It's Star Wars, not Star debating over whether to go to war. It's like how Batman vs. Superman tries to be political, but it just ends up being boring. I do have some positives, though, like unironic positives. The pod racing scene doesn't look as bad as most of the movie, and it's very exciting and fun. Darth Maul is great, and he dies way too early in these 3 movies. I can say the same with Qui-Gon Jinn. It has the best lightsaber fight in all of Star Wars, even though it was ruined by the quote-unquote emotional scene where Obi-Wan holds Qui-Gon in his arms while Qui-Gon is dying. And unfortunately, the next movie has literally none of those things right. So, this is Attack of the Clones. Everything that a movie can do wrong, this movie does it. Bad acting? Yep. Bad effects? Yep. Bad story? Yep. Bad writing? Definitely. So the plot is amazingly stupid. Palpatine's plan is needlessly complicated. Like, why would you buy an army for your enemies? Why? Why would Dooku do that? The love story feels like Lucas watched Twilight and decided, hey, I like that. Let's do that. Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure that this movie's romantic scenes inspired Twilight, which was published 2 years after this movie, around the time Revenge of the Sith was out. Coincidence? And I don't even have to mention Hayden Christensen's performance. Just watch this.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
I mean, you've probably already seen it, but whatever. Yoda is no longer a puppet. He's a CGI abomination now. So let's go into 10 reasons why this is the worst Star Wars movie, shall we? Number 1, Boba Fett is given a backstory. Number 2, Boba Fett is in this movie. Number 3, Boba Fett is a clone now. Number 4, Boba Fett is in this movie despite the fact that he has no reason to be in this movie. Number 5, Boba Fett is only in this movie to be a reference to Empire Strikes Back. Number 6, Boba Fett does absolutely nothing but stand in the background. Number 7, Boba Fett never kills anyone in this movie. Number 8, Boba Fett is given a completely unnecessary backstory. Number 9, Boba Fett is shown doing nothing new and he's really boring in this movie. Number 10, Boba Fett's actor is absolutely terrible.
Get him, Dad! Get him! Fire!
Need I say more? I've only reviewed 2 prequels and I'm exhausted. Okay, I'm not going to actually stop the review because I still like all the prequels. They're terrible. Really terrible. But they are so funny, and I will sometimes just decide, hey, I want to watch The Phantom Menace, or hey, I want to watch Attack of the Clones. I can't really explain it. Now, I will say this one is an awkward one to talk about because while it's not as good as the old trilogy, it's definitely better than the other prequels. It starts out strong and it's all great until they get to Coruscant, but it starts dragging throughout, and it doesn't really pick up until the second Grievous fight. Hayden Christensen is slightly better in this one, but he's still pretty bad. The best thing about the movie is its third act, though. It's actually dramatic, and I kind of care about the characters a little bit, sort of, at times. It's the first time a Star Wars movie did that since... When did Return of the Jedi come out? Like 20 years before this? Yeah, let's go with that. I like Padme's funeral, and the fight scene where Anakin becomes a Sith is great. I like the Vader surgery scene. No. And overall, it was the best Star Wars movie since Return of the Jedi. Okay, so this movie series is so long that I'm not even going to try doing it in one video. So I'm getting bored. Tell your friends, tell someone, tell anyone, tell everyone. Okay, bye. Part 2 is coming soon.